Okay, so we're recording again.
Okay.
Julie, how did you know what color palette or logo or identity would be great for your brand?
Well, that was actually kind of a hard question for me because I didn't know what it should look like. I just had a feeling tone of what I wanted to express and that sort of multi-sensory experience I wanted my customer to have when they came to my website or saw me on Facebook and looked at a badge or the cover of the book, whatever. And that's why I use someone like you, Susan, because I really need the help interpreting that. But the place that really got me started was to distinguish my color palette. There's a lot of colors that I like, but then there was the colors that were the right for the brand. So I talk about heart-centeredness a lot, and the heart chakra is green. I talk about money a lot and sales, and where those two meet, people really get hung up. And money's green, but I also talk about really taking your business into the gold. So green and gold made a lot of sense as the primary colors. And, then I threw in the teal. So there's more of a whimsical, playful, and it pulls in the Hawaii feeling with the sky and the blue water. And that really assisted me in knowing what was right and wrong. And then everything else kind of fell in place. So for me, it started with a color palette.
Excellent. Okay. Um, Tell me a little bit about what made you choose me, let's say, as a designer
Yeah.
in the very beginning when we first started to work together um, over someone else. And, in choosing a designer, um, what was, I hate to say it about
No, I'm
myself,
gonna
but
brag on you.
but
Head
we
down
did work
question.
together. So the question is really, how did you decide which type of designer to work with? Um, so I guess I have to ask that question because it was me. So I have to, so I guess you have to know.
Well, let me, for everybody listening, I think that's a totally fair question because you're talking about brand overall and people need to know how to evaluate a graphic designer. So I'm happy to give my 2 cents on that. And I'll tell you exactly why I hired you. And I think everybody should know. And so I'm going to brag on you here for a minute. So we'll just put that out there. But that's totally cool. The thing of it is, I found a lot of graphic designers. Really, this is something I don't know how to do. This is something that is not my expertise. And like I said, I don't know how to interpret the look and feel that I want. And that's what I need you to do. And what I loved about you, Susan, and I evaluated and worked with a lot of people. And, I think there's people who are really talented at this. And I think there's people that just know how to build buttons and banners. And it is what it is. I think you need to distinguish the difference. What do you need? Do you need brand direction? Do you need senior experience guided input into that so that the byproduct or the output creates that visceral multisensory experience that your customer needs? Or do you just need a banner or a button? If you just need a banner or a button, then hire just for that. If you need that visceral experience, I think you need to look to people who have had experience and done work on the multiple mediums on multiple types of projects because it will give them more experience. You had that. You had this amazing book background, and because you'd covered off so many topics in those books, I knew you knew how to do the soft girly stuff all the way to hardcore business stuff to, and I thought I really respect that breadth of experience. But the thing that keeps me coming back to you that I find is an absolutely huge challenge that I hate with graphic designers or brand people who do the image part of or I should say the digital pieces of the image pieces of the brand. They're not reliable. They don't meet deadlines. They give you a lot of stuff that makes you feel good and closes the deal. But when it comes to deliverables, you're like a second class citizen. Susan, you're always there. You always respond. And even I try not to throw you emergencies, but even when there is one, you fix it. Like that one, I totally missed a typo. And I was like, oh, please, this needs to go live today. And you like fixed it and sent it back to me in 10 minutes. Like, I know if you're around and you can do it, you'll do that. And